2026 and the link is feeling cold. Stories of a super runner getting kinda old. Jalen under fire, say his vision's getting tight. Calling them uncoachable every single night. AJ in the tray, got me in my field. Mr. Hollywood is the brownest on the field. Man, he ain't calling plays, I'll be searching for the spark. Eagles flying solo, hunting shadows in the dark. Vrabel and Russini trying to launch a master plan. Ever since the photos got you sitting with the fans. Draft day approaching, how we sitting on this perch. Gotta fill some holes, so you know he's on the search. 10 toes down with the Eagles on the scene. Watching out for Cap, cause your boy is bleeding green. Searching through the trending topics, info moving slow. Pro fan talk, always keep you in the know. Pro fan talk. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Pro fan talk. Where the real ones bar. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all. Pro fan talk. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Pro fan talk. Where the real ones bar. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all. Pro fan talk.
Uh-oh, my bad. So I can put it on my site. Sorry about that. Am I on now? I thought my thing was blinking. I think I'm always good for that. But in any case, appreciate you joining me. A lot of stuff going on. Eagles are in the news. Flyers are in the news. Sixers are in the news. Phillies are in the news. Vrabel and Russini are still in the news. If you saw the if you saw my thumbnail, they on a boat now. It sounds like the damn Old Spice commercial. I'm on a yacht. Just oh my God, it's just something. It's always something. It's always something. It's always something, man. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. It was just a lot of stuff going on. WNBA is about to start. They got done with their preseason. So I'm pushing content there. I'm pushing content to my Pro Fan Hoops channel. If you haven't joined me on Pro Fan Hoops, if you like women's basketball, I do a little bit every now and then about the Sixers, but most of my content is on women's basketball, NCAA women's, and the WNBA. So yeah, if you like women's basketball, please subscribe to Pro Fan Hoops. I'm putting content there almost every day. So got to diversify the talent, man. I was putting a lot of stuff on my main channel, and I found out I was crossing the streams. So all my football talent, all my football content was getting drowned out by the basketball. So I've been watching stuff, and they said just start a basketball channel so you can get all the people that's interested in basketball can go to that thing. And I was like, that kind of makes sense. So because I know get busy and you want to talk about everything Philadelphia. So what I did was I still talk about everything. I'll talk about basketball here, as you guys have heard it, but for the most part, this is, I want to say 80% Eagles, 80% Eagles, then Phillies and just Philadelphia teams. And then also what's going on outside in the NFL. I've talked about the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders a lot. I've talked about Olympic curling a lot. So this site gets more traction with anything. But the one thing I talk about more than almost anything else besides the Eagles is WNBA. So I got my own channel about that. Check that out. I even got a gaming channel, y'all. Did y'all know that? I'm an old school gamer. I try to play games, but with my schedule, I don't play a lot of games. But what I do talk about, I I get into watching like the trailers, trailer reacts and all of that type of stuff. So that's new. I think I don't even know if I got 100 subscribers on that yet, but I'm just doing it just to do it. But yeah, my Pro Fan Hoops is just above 700. I got 719 subscribers on Pro Fan Hoops. And then this one here, Pro Fan Talk, that's the baby. That's the main squad. We trying to get to 10,000. We are at 9,100. We are at 9,100, and I got 900 to go to get to 10K. So we working, still recruiting, still getting people on the squad. You know how that works. But in any case, so what's going on with you, man? Wanted to talk about the Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel stuff again, because that has a direct effect on what's going to happen with AJ Brown. I know my man Frado was in here. We've been going back and forth on Twitter, because Frado, I'm starting to come around to your way of thinking that there's a big possibility that AJ won't go to the Patriots. It's too much. It's too much drama right now, and you can't get any straight answers. You know what I'm saying? It's always something. Some of your comments made some sense. Trying to drive up the price, and ever since the situation with Vrabel and Russini came down the pipe, everything's been wonky with that. Everything's been wonky with that. We already know that it's going to happen. AJ Brown, Howie Roseman have had ample opportunity to squash any type of rumors if it wasn't true. They've had plenty of time to just come up and say, like, hey, I don't know where y'all getting this stuff, blah, 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 blah. It's happened before. But yeah, I'm with you. But I'm of the ilk now that I'm gonna guess that it's Russini's husband, the guy that the Shake Shack executive. Like he has started a slow drip of information. He is it is just, what's the right one? Yeah. He has just been slow dripping information. First, the original pictures came out in Arizona. Then the pictures came out of him in the bar at that same resort. First, it was the pictures on top of the bungalow. Then it was, well, no, first was the pictures of the pool, and then on top of the bungalow. Then a couple days later, it was pictures inside one of the place they was eating breakfast or whatever, and somebody looked like somebody was sitting at the bar. That came out next. Then it was I think then it was a couple weeks after that. That's when Russini resigned. And then it was more pictures that came out. Then it was where were they? They were somewhere together in a bar or something like that. But it's just been a slow drip. Now today, the pictures of them on a boat when she was pregnant. I was like, oof, that is not a good look. That is not a good look. Chris Bruce, bruh. Like, I don't want to say that, but like the optics. Like I saw something today that said Russini naming the baby Michael. Her brother's name is Michael. And I was like, you know what? That makes sense. But the optics of this whole situation is so bad that everything you come out with seems suspect. Seems very suspect. Yeah, man, it's been very, very messy. Very messy. So I don't want to say, I don't want to go that far in saying that, because that's like beyond messy right there. But also, and I've said this before. I'm curious, because clearly, if the alleged stories are true, this is coming from not Vrabel, but Russini's husband. He's the one supposedly that hired the PI and all that type of stuff. So this has been going on for a long time. This has been going on for a long time. And I'm gonna be adult. We gonna, If there's any kids in the chat, this is rated R. This is for grown folks. All right. So let's just assume that is not Mike Vrabel's kid. But my question is, why else are you spending time with somebody and you about to pop? So, and then if you like that, what are you doing? Like physically, sexually, what are you doing? So lots of questions, man. But it is, yeah, messy is the thing that I would say. You know what? I ain't even seen that kid either. So that's the next thing. And this is where it gets dark. This is where it gets dark. Because everybody's gonna be looking for pictures of that kid now. I don't know if she got pictures of her kid out and about and all of that type of stuff. I have no idea. But I've never seen them. And somebody gonna put a side by side of Vrabel and the kid, and somebody gonna be trying to, play 23 and me and all of that type of stuff. So yeah, it's gonna get messy, man. It's gonna be extremely messy. And that's right. They done found text messages. They done found iTunes iTunes playlists and all kind of stuff, man. And then I think they played something today, or they had text from a conversation she had with Ryan Russillo, where she said he reminds her of Mike Vrabel, and that's a good thing if you dating and all. Like she was messy, not messy, but reckless, just reckless. So I honestly wonder the type of relationship with her husband that she had, because it was like, but to be honest, I know people that joke like that all the time, always throwing digs at their spouse. But this stuff was like, I don't know. I guess some people are like that. I ain't never had some people do that on the radio. And I say it again, all the stuff she said about her husband being average and all that type of stuff, that's none of that is a good look. But when she called herself a MILF on live radio, I was like, okay, all right, you said that. It came out of your mouth. Because if one of those male co-hosts had on the radio had said that, they would be in trouble. She said that. That came out of her own mouth. So yeah, man, it's DNA test of Vrabel drops on June 1st before the trade. Oh, bro. At this point, man, would not surprise me, man. Would not surprise me. I'm sorry. This has been beyond messy. Beyond messy. So would I be able to play for him after all of this came out? That's a good question. Yes. And I say that because a paycheck and morals don't always align. Because let me rephrase that question. Did anybody have a problem playing for the Patriots after all of that stuff with Robert Kraft came out? Nope. You know why? Because they were still cashing them checks. So a paycheck and morals are not always going to align. I guarantee you, some of y'all in the chat right now, some of y'all work with people. And I mean, not work at the same place. Y'all work with people, have to interact. And they either cheating on their spouse, running on their husband, they got a side chick at work, or a side dude, sneaky link at work, something like that. Everybody knows somebody like that. Everybody. And sometimes there are some situations where you don't know. But everybody knows somebody like that or works with somebody like that. You ain't even got to be 6 degrees of separation. That's like 2. So because it's it's the trending news. A lot of times we make it bigger than it actually is. Because if you break it down to its common elements, it is two grown folks that made bad decisions. That's what it is. And and I gotta even say it like this. If they got film of them interacting with each other and being intimate with each other back like 2021, that's not a bad decision. This is a bad lifestyle. Because he made that decision years ago, and he's been actively keeping this relationship together. So he's been cheating on his wife. She's been cheating on her husband for the past 6 or 7 years. Because whenever it was discovered, whenever the first pictures were discovered in 2021 or whatever year it was, you gotta assume that the relationship didn't start on that day. If the first picture was, June 1st, 2021, the relationship didn't start on June 1st. It started months earlier. Especially when you're talking about a high profile personality. And I say it like that because at that particular time when it started, I don't think too many people knew who Dianna Russini was. And if that was 2021, I'm trying to think, when did she get in that fight with Britt McHenry? When was that fight? That's when she was smashing Sean McVay. Dianna Russini and Britt McHenry. That was in April 20 facing security. Britt McHenry, former ESPN Karma. She talked about Karma, but okay. So that was 2014. That was 2014, and apparently, allegedly, she didn't start. It wasn't discovered that she was messing around with Vrabel until 2021. So, but even then, what does that tell you? That tells you she was about that life. That's what that tells you. That tells you she was about that life. And I've said this before, the wives, football wives, there is a group of football wives that stick together, and that is a locker room. That is a locker room dynamic. Some of them wives are catty. Some of them wives are petty. They got the rich bitch attitude. Can't nobody say nothing to them. Stay away from my man. You got all types of attitudes. You got people that stay in the church. You got people that run outside the church. You got people that's just running. So it takes all kinds, and they understand what they have, what they give up. They all sit together in the suites and all of that type of stuff, and they talk amongst themselves. They know who's doing what. Don't get it twisted. They know who's doing what. They know who the freaks were. They know who used to work at the clubs. They know some of them probably have connections in them strip clubs, so they got connections, and they know which guys came in the strip clubs on what nights. Some of them go that deep because some of them are jealous. All of that stuff. So you can just imagine some of the stuff that they did, or some of the stuff that they know about. You know what I mean? Because when you got money like that and you petty and they talk, and you don't grow too far past what your personality is once you get past high school. You mature a little bit, but that's basically your makeup. If you used to fight all of the time in high school and college, then you was probably a hothead. No, you don't do it now, but that potential exists. All it takes is the right environment. And all I'm saying is that some of these people, just like Vrabel and all of that, some of these wives, they the same way. They the same way. If they was not nice people in college, and then they lucky enough to hit the jackpot and marry some NFL player, they're gonna be the exact same way now. Now that they got money, and You know the attitude. You know the routine. The whole Mean Girls thing. There are real people like that. Real people like that. So, and I say all that to say, the spouses know they got connections and they got money just like everybody else. So, part of me thinks that Vrabel's wife probably knew something was going on, but now you got to shift it to the next part of it is what kind of personality are you dealing with? Because just like anybody else, they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want their kids to be embarrassed. Now, the worst thing about Dianna Russini, everybody checking her kids. She still got to take her kids to daycare, to preschool, or to grade school, or whatever. She still got to drop her kids off. And everybody in the school is watching that. And this is where the karma comes back. And this is where the receipts come back and kick you in the head, kick you in the teeth. Because I guarantee you, everybody, now Vrabel's kids is grown, I think. I think they out of school. But everybody in whatever school they went to knew who that kid's dad was. They knew his dad was Mike Vrabel that used to play for the Patriots. Now's a coach for the Tennessee Titans. Now's the head coach for the Patriots. They know who your dad is. Vrabel's kids, they know who his is. They know who his mom is. They've seen his mom or her mom on television. I think I've told this story before. Grown up in Cincinnati, Ohio, first and second grade, Central Baptist Elementary School in College Hill in Cincinnati, Ohio. I went to school with Ken Griffey Jr. I went to school with Ken Griffey Jr. I was in first grade. Ken Griffey was in second grade. Me and my twin was in first grade. Ken Griffey was in second grade. Ken's little brother, Craig, was in kindergarten, was a year behind us. Was friends with both of them. Was more friends with Craig than Ken, but I knew Ken in high school because we played against each other in baseball in high school. So even at my point in saying this is even back then when I was in the second grade, I knew that's Ken Griffey Jr. I knew his dad, Ken Griffey, played with the Cincinnati Reds and was part of the Big Red Machine. We knew that. It was a big deal every time they got dropped off to school in the morning because everybody wanted to see Ken Griffey. So and I'm saying that to say, even if the kids is in second, third, fourth grade, they know who Dianna Russini is because they on their phones and their tablets more than anybody else. And where do you think everybody gets the most of their content from? Online. They ain't sitting in front of no television no more. The only time kids sit in front of a TV is if they on their PlayStation. And now they don't even do that no more. They got computers for that. People watch more TV on their phone. You watch more TV on your phone sitting on the toilet than you do anywhere else. Let's keep it real. Kids will sit in the bed. They'll be on their iPad. They in the car. How do parents quiet down kids? They turn on the iPad. They put the iPad right in the back of the headrest in the car. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. That's where it is now. That's where it is now. So I'm saying all that to say, Dianna Russini's kids, however old they are, those parents in that community know who she is and what she does. So every time she goes to drop off her kids, every time she goes to pick up her kids, every time her husband has to drop off and pick up them kids, all eyes on you. If it's the husband, it's embarrassing. If it's Russini, it's even more embarrassing because it's you everybody talking about. And here's the problem. Everybody know the truth. They know good and damn well if it's true or not. And she got to go in and look them people in the eye. And then them people that's the teachers for her kids' school or whatever the situation is, they got to bite their tongue because every time they look at her, they got to make sure they ain't giving her the side eye and being rude and all of that type of stuff. So it's just an awkward situation all around. But they know the deal. They know the deal. Wives know. Yep. Yep. I saw that. That was what he was like, stay on target, stay on target. And dumbass Sims was like, what? I don't understand. What are you talking about? I was like, you dumbass. You deserve to get kicked off the show. I saw that. I'm not a fan of Chris Sims anyways, but I was like, if you can't read between the lines in a situation like that, Mike Florio was trying to say it without saying it, because if he would have said it, then he would have looked like an asshole, and it's his show. So I understand what Florio was doing. Florio is a lawyer. He knows what they should and shouldn't be saying. He understands all of that. And, you know, Chris Sims just couldn't read the tea leaves fast enough. He tried to interrupt them and everything. Stay on target, stay on target. And he done went ahead and let the cat out of the bag. You can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. It's too late for that. I thought that was hilarious. He walked right into that. The Patriot players are standing. What they supposed to say? What they supposed to say? You're not gonna have somebody come out their neck like that. You just ain't nobody gonna do it. Just like it's and I've said this before, a locker room is a family dynamic. I can talk about my family, but you can't. I can talk about my twin sister, but you can't. We can joke amongst each other, but you can't. You ain't in that circle. And that's how it is in the locker room. And that's what they doing now. They don't care. But again, I asked the question again. Did nobody have a problem with all of them players and them coaches coming back after all of that Robert Kraft stuff? And Robert Kraft signs the checks. So guess what? You still got mouths to feed. You still got bills to pay. So you know what you do? You just like you did with the people at your job. No, I'm not coming to the bar with you. No, I'm going home. You live your life and leave that stuff over there. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And like I said, you know the people that partake, and you know the people that don't. When I was playing ball, we knew who was who, and if there was always, we knew the people who went to the strip clubs. We knew the people who hired escorts. We knew the people if you wanted to get steroids. You knew the people if you wanted drugs. You knew the people who had the hookup because they was messing around with the daughter of the car dealership owner. Like all of that stuff. We knew what it was. We knew what it was. I think I told the story before. There was a dude on the team who got cut because he got caught messing with the owner's, I think, granddaughter or something like that. She was bad. She was flirty. She was walking up and down the plane, flirting with guys and flirting with people and sat with me. And, it was like that. And then she hooked up with somebody and she got caught. Either somebody seen her coming out of somebody's room. And the funny part was this dude had a hell of a game. This dude had like three tackles and a sack. Like he had a hell of a game. And as soon as we got back, cut him. But my point is that people are going to be like that. That was her personality. And the funny part was everybody knew who she was. And she knew everybody knew who she was. And she wasn't hiding it. She didn't care. Because at the end of the day, after that dude gets cut, she's still in the family. She still got a bunch of money in her bank account because her family is rich. It ain't no sweat off her back at all. And that's the same attitude that a lot of these wives have, because if these wives step out, if these wives are doing some nefarious stuff, guess what? If they get divorced, half is shit, Your Honor. So what are you going to do? And that's why I say that it'll be interesting, because now there's reports saying that Dianna Russini is eventually going to tell her story to Good Morning America or somebody. It's a bidding war for her story now. And she gonna get paid. And she got to do it right now because that's her only income. So you know what? Get her payday because Vrabel ain't taking no smoke. And he still got his, $15 million a year job. He ain't lost his job yet. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Mike Vrabel contract. What's his head coaching contract? Whew. Reports indicate is a significant high-earning contract. The estimate suggests his annual salary is around $15 to $17 million. So he's making a lot of money as a coach. He's making player-type money as a coach. So he ain't missing no meals. And here's the funny thing, and this is what I want to know. I mean, we're not going to see it. We ain't going to see it until it happens. This is my prediction. If Mike Vrabel steps down, don't be surprised if Robert Kraft pays him out his contract. Don't be surprised. If he's owed money, because let's say if he had a 3-year deal at $15 million a year and he got 2 more years on his contract, I would not be surprised if Robert Kraft pays him out his contract. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So when you into that type of stuff, you got to take care of each other. And that's what they do. Vrabel, Mrs. Vrabel, she ain't got nothing to worry about. She's going to be embarrassed, but she's going to get all the sympathy unless somehow, some way the word gets out that she knew. Somehow, some way the word gets out that he knew. Russini's husband, he knew. Because the question will be, well, if you knew, why did you keep this up for so long? Why were you doing because let's be for real. Again, we're going to go rated R for a minute. Some people thrive in them type of relationships. Being swingers and all of that type of stuff. Some people are into that stuff. And sometimes it'll be the last person you would think. So I don't know what their relationship is. You never know what's going on in somebody else's house, man. You never know. So, is everybody flooding Shake Shack all of a sudden to show support for Mr. Russini? I don't know. I haven't heard that story yet. I don't know. So it could go either way. I think right now, Dianna Russini holds all the cards because for her, how could it get any worse for her? She done lost her job. And everything that Mike Vrabel does, it just throws her under the bus. When he going to pep rallies and getting standing ovations. Meanwhile, she ain't coming out the house. You know what I'm saying? So for her, how can it get worse? I don't know the age of her kids. I don't know if her kids are at the age where this stuff really bothers them, if they understand what's going on. I don't know how old her kids are. Because don't nobody want their kids to go through this shit. It's embarrassing for the parents, but you don't want your kids to be answering questions and all that kind of stuff. Now, Vrabel's kids, they're going to have a road to go because everybody knows, especially if you grown, I guarantee you, everybody knows who dad is. Everybody. So it's worse for grown kids than it is for kids. So I don't know. But he got not he, but she got all the cards in her hand because how could it get worse for her? The only thing that would be worse for Dianna Russini right now is if some type of tape was released. Doing their business. That would be the only thing that could be any worse. And I'm saying that because she's already hit rock bottom. She done lost her job, all of this type of stuff. So she done already hit rock bottom. So there's nowhere else left to go but up. So when you get in a situation like that, all of the cards are in her hands. What else are they going to do to her? What else are they going to say about her? when he ain't catching no smoke. So something's telling me I don't necessarily believe that. I don't believe it. Well, yes. Let me back up. Yes, you are correct. That's the one way it could be worse, because that secret would be out and any sympathy that she had would be gone. Any sympathy that she had would be gone. But my guess is they are going to, whenever she decides to go on whatever channel, Good Morning America or whatever, 2020, whatever, just like what's the head coach for Michigan, the chick that put him in jail, she was on 2020 crying, talking about he was controlling me and all that kind of stuff. I was like, man, get the hell out of here with that nonsense. You knew exactly what you was doing. You knew he was married, all of that type of stuff. But that ain't stop you one bit. You knew it was wrong, but that didn't stop you. And all of a sudden, coaches are we got psychic powers now. And we just make women just do all kind of stuff. So these days you can't even say hi with somebody trying to come at your neck. So I don't buy that for a minute. Then look at what just happened with Stephon Diggs. Look at his situation. That girl wasted all of that time, wasted his money. He had to hire lawyers and all of that type of stuff, and she didn't have one shred of evidence, not one. But he had to go through all of that. He had to go through all of that ridicule. Luckily, he didn't have to miss the Super Bowl, all of that type of stuff. But they was already talking about it. Dismissed him from the team, all of that kind of stuff. Till this gets, then it come to find out she was making the shit up. He's the one that had to spend the money. She ain't got no money for a lawyer. That lawyer took that job hoping that she was going to get a payday so he could get a payday. Just boosting his profile. But you went through all of that shit for nothing. All of it. And he had to go through, his name was drug in the mud and all of that type of stuff, and I ain't gonna sit here and act like Stephon Diggs is a, model citizen. He got his dirt with him. However, having dirt on you is different than if you did it. What she accused him of, he did not do. So guess what? You in the wrong. I'm trying to remember, what was the dude's name with the Eagles? What was the dude's name with the Eagles that got kicked off the team because some girl that allegedly he got into sexual essay with. I don't want YouTube to shut me down for using certain words, but they brought up an essay case that happened when they was in college like 3 years before. I think this was before the 24 Super Bowl. I can't remember if it was before the 24 or the 22. I think it was for the 24 Super Bowl. And they kicked him off the team. He missed his opportunity and he missed the experience to go to the Super Bowl and you knew that this girl was waiting in the wings for the right opportunity to bring this back up and try to get a payday. And that's exactly what she did. They kicked him off the team and then come to find out he was exonerated. So what happens to the girl? If you knowingly falsely accuse somebody, what happens? So yeah, I saw the stuff with Marcellus Wiley, but guess what? Marcellus Wiley done been on the attack. Marcellus Wiley like, yo, I got receipts, bro. So, but I mean, you can't say anything either way because it makes you look a certain way. If you say things one way, so you're okay with victimizing women. If you say something the other way, you just gonna believe anything anybody tells you, without it's guilty until proven innocent, rather than the other way around. Because that's the way it is right now. And not to mention that the court of public opinion sometimes is even worse than the legal system. So it's crazy. It's crazy. So we got to see what's going to happen with all of this stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Marcellus Wiley, but this is the stuff that I'm always curious about. Like, and I am not going to attempt to speak or be in somebody's mind who's been abused or anything like that. But I'm always curious as to why, when something like this happens, why the long wait? Now, I know some situations where somebody will go to the cops and report it and cops don't do nothing, or a situation like that where people are just negligent. But if it's a big story like that, like this happened 7 months ago, all of a sudden you just bringing this story to light because such and such just signed a contract for $6.7 million. Now all of a sudden you want to go to the cops. It's like, and it's not a good look. What is my percentage chance of Vrabel as the coach week 1? I say 50-50. It's 50-50 because at the end of the day, like, I don't know how many more videos and images they have in the cut. You mean to tell me all this time, since 2021, all this time, ain't nobody said nothing? Whoever had that video of the boat, Ben had that video of the boat. Why is it just coming to light now? People that snuck pictures of Vrabel and Russini at the bar and at brunch and all of that type of stuff. Why is this stuff just coming out now? So, like I said, it's a slow leak of information. So they must have a lot of it. And every week, some news coming out. Every week, a playlist got released. And now they on the boat. And she was on the dock and she was already pregnant. And like, it's now the one thing that I heard that really, really arched my eyebrow. The guy was telling about, he was going through his recollection of all the events and all that kind of stuff. But what he was doing was time stamping he used when the Titans traded Julio Brown. And they were saying Russini was reporting about that, and they were trying to go through it and reading the receipts of her reports saying that she was reporting the news to the benefit of the Titans at the time. Because I believe the story went that she was talking that a team had already offered a first-round pick or something like that. So everybody stops asking. So basically, she lowered the price. If there's another team that's offering a premier price for a player, and that's being announced, it's in the news and all this and all of that, the teams say, well, I'm not paying that. I'm out. I fold. It's like knowing the hands of the cards. If it's been confirmed that a team offered a first-round pick for Julio Brown or for A.J. Brown, or it was Julio Jones. I'm sorry, Julio Jones. I just remember that, Kel. Julio Jones. If she's a beat reporter and she's breaking the news and says that there was sources say that a team has already offered a first-round pick. So what that says is that's the market that's been set. The market is they got to offer for a first-round pick and whatever else. So if any team wants Julio Jones, you gotta at least have a first-round pick. And like I said, teams are like, that's what they offering. I'm out. I fold. I don't want none of that. We're not paying that price. And then what happens? Everybody drops out of the race. And then Tennessee or whoever, or the Patriots with AJ, whoever, they get the deal. They make the deal for less than what they were willing to give up. and she helped set the market. That's where the tampering comes in. That's where this is getting a little bit suspect. Because if it happened before with Julio Jones, what makes you think it won't happen with AJ Brown? And the same thing was happening. Folks reporting on what the possible going rate is, and she was trying to drive down the price. She was tampering. That's what I believe. That's why I think that this story is not going to go away, because eventually it has to get back to that. Because AJ Brown is going to happen. And Frado, the more I think about it, the more I'm coming on your side, bro. I don't think AJ might end up in New England. He's going to end up somewhere else. Because there's a big possibility that if they drop any other type of information or if something happens and it makes the situation worse, Vrabel might have to walk away because he is going to be the distraction. That in itself is an oxymoron. That cannot happen. You cannot be the head coach of a team and be the distraction. You cannot do that. Not in the NFL. You can deflect and take the focus away from things, but you cannot be the distraction. You cannot be in the news for the wrong reasons. Only owners can do that. So somebody made a good point. I heard not too long ago. They said when Mike Vrabel got the job with Tennessee, when he got fired from Tennessee or left, or however it went down, and he ended up going, he went to the Browns for a season and was a coach, and then he got hired with the Patriots. When he left the Tennessee Titans, Dianna Russini didn't have any more news about the Tennessee Titans. She didn't break any more stories about the Tennessee Titans. And then all of a sudden, when he goes up to the Patriots, all of a sudden she breaking stories with the Patriots. It's not hard to figure out. When you look at everything and the math ain't mathing. And when you look at everything, it seems to be easy to put two and two together. But nobody wants to do that. Did y'all see old boy on 97.5 today ripping on Stu Gatz? Because he kept saying that he called Dianna Russini and talked to her. And he was clowning him. He was like, dude, he was like, stop saying that. It was funny. I agree. Everything's on the table right now. Everything's on the table right now. My bad, dog. Wide receiver Voltron. That is hilarious. Oh, that's a good one, dude. Wide receiver Voltron. I appreciate that joke. I appreciate that joke right there, man. That is hilarious. Rumors is Titans wanted CJ Stroud. She was caught up in that as well, trying to lower his value in the draft. Yeah. Yep. And more people are connecting the dots. Because they're going back like, damn, she did say that. So shout out to Simone, man. Shout out to Simone. I've been trying to hook up. I've been trying to get Tone to hook me up with Simone, but Simone about to blow up, and then she's gonna be untouchable. Because I wanted to talk to Simone because she was down at the Super Bowl and she had a chance to talk with Chris Collinsworth, and I wanted to talk to her about that. So if anybody knows Simone, tell her Coach Markus want to holler at her for a minute. So I just wanted to talk to her about talking to Chris Collinsworth. I'm a Cincinnati kid, so I grew up watching Chris Collinsworth. Big hero of mine. So that's the boy that would go up and take them hits going across that middle. And so yeah, I wanted to see how that experience was. Because I know people don't like Collinsworth as an announcer. I love him, but I'm biased because I'm from Cincy. So, yo, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Yeah, he don't want that smoke. He does not want that smoke. So, in any case, Robert Kraft working OT. Yeah, he is working OT. He is working OT. But yeah, like I was saying, man, yeah, don't nobody want to bring that up because that was the Britt McHenry fight. That's what they was both smashing Sean McVay. I don't know if he was married at the time. I don't know, but guess what? It happened, and because everything Dianna Rose, dude, there you go. There you go. Keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. Now look at this. I'm on my other screen. I'll show y'all this real quick. I just think it's funny, right? So Jen Vrabel is trending. I didn't type her name in. The Times of India. Lord have mercy. This is the international story now. She is horrified. Mike Vrabel's wife, Jen, reportedly struggling behind closed doors. Yep. TMZ, the private boat. I'm on the boat. Did y'all see my my thumbnail? Let me show y'all this real quick. Hold on for a second. That's I'm on a boat. I was gonna try to do a little bit of what's the boy that was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine when remember when he did that song with T-Pain? I'm on the boat. Oh my gosh. But yeah, isn't that interesting? Jen Vrabel is trending now. Top stories. Let's see what this is the Times of India. She is horrified. Mike Vrabel's wife, Jen, reportedly struggling behind closed doors as Dianna-Russini scandal intensifies. Wow. India getting in on the fun. That's crazy. Anybody in the chat from India? Shout out to India right now. Wow. International. That's crazy. That's crazy. More news. Yeah, this is the trending. Rented a boat together. So that was 2021. The reason why it's such a bad look is because she about to pop. She was very pregnant in that picture. Very pregnant. So like that's some nasty business right there. That's some nasty work. That's some nasty work. Joy Taylor, Joy Taylor know what she was doing. But see, here's the thing with Joy Taylor. Everybody just ain't gonna talk their business. But the whole situation with Joy Taylor is they don't like who was Joy Taylor messing with? That's my question. Who is she messing with? And again, you talking about grown folks. So when you talk about sleeping your way to the top, let's keep it a buck. Somebody got to want to do that. So again, if I'm looking at that, I'm looking at the dude like, all we hear about is Joy Taylor. We ain't hear about the other dude. We ain't hear about the exec. If he making the rules, he set the rules. He the first one to break them. It's almost like, what do you say to the police officer that's going 20 miles over the speed limit? He ain't gonna bring himself in, but don't nobody talk about him. So, and then from my understanding, that whole situation was she wasn't even involved in the real problem. It was just somebody that was trying to blow up the whole spot and just started mentioning everybody's name, and her name got mentioned. And because she was the biggest, because didn't all of this start with a hairdresser or something? It was somebody else that's told on her. She didn't put her business out there. Somebody else did because they was mad at something else. And it grew legs, and it is what it is. But again, whoever she was supposed to be sleeping with, aside from Acho, you didn't hear nothing about them. They didn't lose their job. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Joy was single. Joy was single. Exactly. 100% right there. That's it right there in a nutshell. That is the modern day news cycle. Clicks and views. That's it in a nutshell. That is it in a nutshell. That's all they worried about. So it was it the Skip Bayless story? I forget how it started, but like she wasn't the main, like it wasn't about her. It was about somebody else, and then her name got mentioned. So, let me see. This is unconfirmed, but there are reports that McVay and Vrabel are launching the Eskimo Brothers podcast. The Eskimo Brothers. If you know, I don't know. What does that mean? What's the Eskimo Brothers? Is that supposed to be some saying white chicks or something? You got to explain that to me. You might have to break that one down, bro. I'm not in the loop on this one. I don't understand the Eskimo Brothers. So, yeah, make it plain. Oh my God. It's funny. Sleeping with okay, I got you. All right. Got you. So, hey, listen, man. Bruh, I've seen it. To my man earlier that said Dianna Russini was a groupie. That's exactly what they do. I've seen it. So, it ain't, people will do anything. So it is what it is, man. Yeah, Tiff, it is double standards, man. That is no doubt. It is double standards. Sometimes it flips. Like, for instance, sometimes it's equaled out. It all depends on how the story plays out. It's weird like that, though. But for the most part, there's always a double standard where the woman is going to take more heat than the man. But like, look at the situation with the girl at the Coldplay concert. The couple that was at the Coldplay concert that got busted. The dude was with the secretary or whoever that wasn't his wife. He got busted, right? You saw that on both sides, right? So sometimes it plays out evenly, but most times it doesn't. So yes, Tiff, you are 100% correct. There is a double standard that is active and ain't going nowhere. 6 years. Yeah. You know what? I'll say it again. I guarantee you some of them players' wives knew what was going on. Don't get it twisted. Somebody knew for sure. So, but all right, man, I'm about to land this plane. I'm about to go get some ice cream and chill out. Yeah, this is crazy. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm trying to change some things up, just letting y'all know for next week. Got some new graphics coming out. Got some cool things that I'm working on. Check out my Pro Fan Hoops video. That'll watch the intro and the dismount, because I got some new graphics that I'm working with. They're pretty cool. So, working on some new things and some different transition effects and stuff like that. And yeah, trying to make it live. So I hope y'all like it. One more day till CC Revenge Tour. Man, I'm so happy this WNBA season has started. I am so sick and tired of all of these new fans. And listen, let me, I don't want to sound like I'm all high and mighty. I am a new fan too. I am in my third year of watching the WNBA, third year of being invested in the WNBA. Y'all know my story. I started watching the WNBA because of Kelsey Mitchell, not Caitlin Clark. Kelsey Mitchell, her father, was a good friend of mine, my fraternity brother. We went to school together. We went to college together. He blocked for me. He's a big reason why I ended up at Eastern Kentucky and a big reason why I became the running back I became. So shout out to Mark Mitchell. Rest in peace, big bro. Love you. Appreciate you. But Kelsey Mitchell, his daughter, is the reason I started watching the WNBA. And then Caitlin Clark happened. But I'm saying all that to say some of these fans, these Caitlin Clark fans, these Angel Reese haters, y'all overboard. Going way overboard. But the funny thing is, they do the same thing as NFL fans do. What do I say before every year in the NFL? Miss me with the lists, miss me with the top 5s and the top 10s, who's on this list, who's the elite quarterbacks and who's the elite receivers, and all of that shit don't matter. It only matters when the regular season starts. WNBA is doing the same thing. Why is Caitlin Clark not on this list? What do you mean Angel Reese is still going to get a double-double? And they saying all of this stuff, and I'm like, just watch the damn season start. If we at game 6 and Caitlin Clark is shooting 20% from 3, you know what? Criticism is warranted. If Angel Reese is still 30% in the paint, you know what? Criticism is warranted. But stop watching half of basketball in the preseason, and then all of a sudden you get all of these hot takes and opinions on what they're going to look like. It is like it's preseason. Relax. Welcome to the mainstream, WNBA fans. Welcome to the mainstream. This is what mainstream sports do. They get overhyped at the wrong things. Welcome to our world. All right, man. I'm getting up out of here. I will see y'all tomorrow. I probably won't be. I'm going to have some content up tomorrow, but I most likely will not be going live unless we have breaking news. So, and with that, I'm going to get up out of here, and I will holler at y'all tomorrow. Hit me up on X if you got something to say. You can shoot me a message. I'll respond to you. So I will holler at y'all later. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And as usual, go Birds.
Yeah. Yo, 2026 and the link is feeling cold. Stories of a super runner getting kinda old. Jalen under fire, say his vision's getting tight. Calling him uncoachable every single night. AJ in the tray, got me in my field. Mr. Hollywood is the brownest on the field. Man, he ain't calling plays, I'll be searching for the spark. Eagles flying solo, hunting shadows in the dark. Vrabel and Russini trying to launch a master plan. Ever since the photos got you sitting with the fans. Draft day approaching, how we sitting on this perch. Gotta fill some holes, so you know he's on the search. 10 toes down with the Eagles on the scene. Watching out for Cap, cause your boy is bleeding green. Searching through the trending topics, info moving slow. Pro fan talk, always keep you in the know. Pro fan talk. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Pro fan talk. Where the real ones bar. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all. Pro fan talk. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Pro fan talk. Where the real ones bar. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all.